this old school Australian adage that because you pay your money to come sit in a seat at the footy, thinks that gives you the right to do and say whatever you want to do. It's just like it's not 1978 anymore. Yeah. It's not. Like, you don't have the right. Booing is a theatrical and dramatic part of our game. If someone
having a shot for goal,
people, there would have been guys that didn't like you guys because you dominated against their clubs. So they would have booed you when you got the footy to put you off your game, to make Lloyd miss a goal, which he very rarely did. Same with Jimmy. When it's targeted for a specific reason, because of, in last night's case, Isaac Quaynor was the victim of a homophobic slur. That's a fact now. That Isaac Rankin was suspended for 5 weeks, 6 weeks? 4. Sorry, they had the ability to come back for the grand final. That's right. When it's like that, I think that crosses a line.
Well, it certainly...
And I think Collingwood clearly said that it crossed the line. The AFL have clearly said that it crossed the line.
Well, Isaac Quaynor was quoted as saying he was pretty confused by it, and you could tell he was downplaying it a bit. But again, he spoke with all class. Sam's been waiting patiently. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening. It takes more energy to frown than it does to smile. And the Crow supporters spent a lot of energy frowning and booing at Quaynor and Dacos and Maynard and Houston. And you, by the time it comes to cheering on your own team, you're actually a bit spent of energy. So all that negative energy has no really net positive effect for your team. Just get behind your team and cheer them on and push them on to victory. They could learn a lot from Louis Walker, sitting there stoically ploughing into his chips as his whole family, extended friends and whatnot circle just watch the carnage of the second quarter, and in the end he had the last laugh.
I like your sunny disposition, Sam. It's a different take. Appreciate it. Peter's up next. Good evening, Peter.
G'day, guys. I'm not sure if I'll let Peter on, but I appreciate it.
You're the right Peter.
Thank you, sir. The previous gentleman said it beautifully, but to Sam's point, I appreciate the mature approach. I think he's 100% correct. But I think in this case, guys, the mature person's approach may be to not say anything, to not give it oxygen, to take the perspective or the approach of sticks and stones may break my bones, because I think we're just fueling this even more. And next year you might have twice the amount of fans. So I'm just thinking maybe the opposite of what we think is correct, we may require to pursue this time.
And Jimmy, my view on it is just the context which Sam came back to. It's the context of it where this is the innocent person in it it's just so wrong, whereas it's football booing. No issues with that. But this is just the context of where it's so wrong, and we can't just say, let's hope it goes away and let's hope it doesn't happen next time. And that's where I sort of sit on it.
Football booing, in a weird way, can be great. Like, so both of you guys are involved in school teams. Yeah. I can imagine the
atmosphere.
The atmosphere at school, and when they get behind the goals of like opposition teams and someone's lining up, like they're all booing and they're trying to put them off.
But again, and there's a line for us too where you're really embarrassed if it steps over that, and the stuff turns to personal jibes,
nasty.
And that turns nasty. It's embarrassing for you as a school. You know, that's what we're dealing with a lot, aren't we, Jimmy? Where people step over the line, it hurts you and your brand. And I say to the kids, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting me, you're hurting our program, you're hurting our brand, the whole reputation. So, you cannot step over that line.
Exactly right. We've got Pete up next. Good evening, Pete.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Sam, I want to thank you for that. Right, like last night, good on them. I'm wrapped that they booed us. You know why? Because it put us together. And after half-time, we came out, we dismantled the Adelaide football clubs and sent their fans home, not booing, but crying, the bunch of flops they are.
Enjoy the passion, Pete, but I do think you're right as far as the Pies did look like a real strong unit, especially after they kicked those 3 goals leading into half-time, and then they took that into the second half. And there's question marks over the Crows playing at home, big games. Of course, on the road against the Swans, good. But at home, does the moment just get a bit too bright for them?
I was just going to say that the disappointing thing, Lloyd, about the booing is that, to Jimmy's exact point, it masked and overshadowed 2 very key storylines. One, the Pies, 6 in a row, look like they're as galvanised as ever. The other one is the Crows. I just wonder whether you can look at last year and look at this year. Do you get given a roadmap if you're an opposition club? What do we do to unsettle these guys?
He's never won a final, Matthew Nix, and he's going to be the longest-serving coach by next year at the club. But here is Matthew Nix, Jimmy, just speaking after the game, where I don't think he had too many answers.
It's like someone flicked the switch. We're 26 points up, playing some pretty solid footy, plans, everything's going to plan, and then, we'll have a good look at it. But, it was like we just stopped. And then when you give a team momentum, we weren't able to sort of bring that back in the second half. We came out with the same style of footy, and so what were we, 26 points up, and I reckon it's 8 points at half-time in about 4.5 minutes.
No real answer there, Jimmy, with anything that they go, okay, he said, we just got to go and watch this back and have a look at it. So that's what I admire about McRae. They said, we planned for Jeremy Howe during the week that we may need a goal out of him at some point, so they trained for it. And Howe goes forward
just before half-time
and kicks one straight back to the back line, but he just got what they needed going.
Just quickly, he can't explain it. Can you guys summarise it quickly as to what the problem is for Adelaide, or when it changes for him?
Look, I think when the moment gets a bit big for them, they've got still some players who remove themselves from the moment.
Right.
So,
the pressure goes on, they go to water.
Well, that's what Matthew Nix said. He said, look, they stopped running and stopped, joining in the contest. And Collingwood got themselves further into the contest. They started to win one-on-ones. They had, a clear structure behind them. They had some, predetermined plans. The Jeremy Howe one, it was like,
Dawson well held as well.
Yep, it was like, hang on, Howe's forward, and then straight back, Tex Walker. They had their second matchups lined up if it wasn't working. The failure for some of the Crows' backs to adjust to actually their matchup. So some really good defenders for the Crows. You clearly haven't watched Tim Membry play football. Like he's not a key forward. He's going to get on the lead. So why are you playing 20 metres off the back of it? So it was a bit of no. We just do typical coach speak. No, we backed in what we're going to do. But you've also got to take into account sometimes the opposition's going to play well. What's our plan when they do that?
And Worrell was everywhere, marking everything, and Anderson couldn't cope with him. So then they detached Jeremy Howe out, and then that drew Worrell out of the play. So. They just came up with things very quickly. That's the art of coaching, not waiting till Monday.
And Ed Allen's become a story, hasn't
he? He looked like he actually had that moment of, hey, I belong at this level. I'm not just a young player. But
he's their most improved player this year. So.
He's been super.
Hello, John.
Hi there, Jimmy, Matt, Matthew, Sam. So my thinking is Isaac Quaynor, lost in all this booing discussion, is his 150th game last night. Now, what a fabulous, consistent, most reliable, underrated player he's been. Just a quiet achiever.
Absolutely right.
That's a good point, John.
Could he be a captain material, like if they don't go straight for Nick Dacos, if they want a bit of a...
Who's that, sorry?
Quaynor.
I think Maynard.
Maynard?
We actually we asked Isaac. Remember we had him on a couple of weeks ago? And we asked him that specific question around whether he put his hand up for captaincy. And he, to Lloyd's point, said, leadership's important to me, but I think with Braden and Nick, we've got two pretty good options ahead of me.
Do you jump straight to Nick, do you think, or do you have an interim with Braden Maynard?
That's a really interesting point. Like some will say, why do it to Nick right now? What's the rush? But some guys are just born to do it, and like Six Kernahan or a Wayne Carey or these guys, Joel Selwood, just ready to go.
Is Nick born to do it in your eyes?
I think so, yeah. When you work that hard as he does, you're not going to be down for too long.
And it's a good time to do it when they're young. Like Joel Selwood was young, but there was a big group of senior guys still there. So, yes, they are the leader. Everyone is in behind them, but you've got a pretty good network to work with and bounce things off or take the load in different areas. So,
how old was Joel when he was made captain?
I'd say 23.
Yeah. And what's the age difference between you two?
What are we? 2.5, 3 years? 3 years, I think.
So he had a great senior crop, didn't he?
Yeah. So that would have been myself, Kelly, Johnson, all that age bracket.
Yeah, a good point. Thank you, John.